let's talk then about the Hall of Fame. You know, we don't really want to talk about who we think is going to be the first two. I want to hear from you guys who you want in the Hall of Fame. Who wants to kick us off?
Well, for me, there's two players. I think, you know, obviously we're late in the game to be coming back, so you're going to have to go back 20-odd years to when the Premier League started. And for me, it's always an emotional one. So it's always with the teams and the players you watched as a kid. Yeah. So for me, it'll be Cantona and Zola, two players who I looked up to. You know, Cantona coming to, like, he was a trailblazer. He's so charismatic. You know, big goals constantly. He seemed to be on telly, and it was always him making the difference. You know, that's before you even talk about the collars. But this is a joke. This when he just, you know, he finds space. And when he finishes it, I love this, the arrogance of it. Like, this was at the end of his time. And this is just him looking around, just taking it all in. Like, even he's so good, even the other players don't want to touch him. You know, he's
iconic celebration.
It's amazing.
Well, they are two very Joe Cole players, I have to say.
Well, what's interesting, actually, is that when you talk about Cantona, and we can see Zola as well in a moment, is that you're not just talking about their ability as footballers. You sort of like the aura they brought to the team as well, the fact that they had a bit of magic about them.
Well, listen, you don't want your bog standard football. When you go to watch football, you want someone who's going to get you off your seat. And Zola was one of them players, and Cantona was one of them players. I was lucky enough to go and watch Zola when he came in, and the energy he brought to that club, he lifted the whole place, and takes a special type of player. And the other players around him that respect it, he brought the levels up because of his talent and his technique. He was unbelievable.
It's one of those awkward moments where you're not sure whether to interrupt what Joe's saying, to shake the hands of the Palace players who are walking in behind us, or whether...
Sorry.
Or just completely ignore them.
Just to kick... Oh, but morning. Morning, Andros.
Morning.
No, they're ignoring us anyway, so that's fine.
No friends in this game.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So you're saying Eric Cantona and Gianfranco Zola?
Yes, yes, without doubt. But, you know, it's a pick 'em from about 50, 60 players. Yeah. But for me, they were special to me. This Crouchy was telling me he was here that day. But look at the chop here, Crouchy. Look, he sits to Irwin down. I don't think people have seen someone that sharp in the league at that time. He'd come over, and I think it was a game changer. Here, when he just does it, steps over it and takes it round the goalkeeper. I mean, he really lit up the King's Road during that time, and he means so much to the Chelsea fans and football fans. He's a well-liked player, and I think that will come into it as well. Someone who's liked countrywide, and I think both of them, Cantona and Zola, are.
Yeah. You also mentioned the people that came in and sort of changed English football, changed the league. The first one that you said you wanted to talk about did the same, right?
Yeah, I think so. Similar to Zola in many ways. It was hard to pick because I watched Zola firsthand, but I just felt Dennis Bergkamp was certainly of that ilk, and I felt he lit the stadium, the league up, and was doing things. I mean, this assist here has got to be one of the best assists ever in the Premier League history. I mean, look at the feet. It's just ridiculous. I mean, you could watch that time and time again, and he was forever doing things that no one else could do. That there, I mean, he did that in the for Holland as well, very similar. And this goal here, no one's ever done this. No one's ever done it, and I just feel that he's doing things that have never been seen before. No one's ever had a touch like that and gone the opposite way, managed to have the strength and the awareness to hold off Dabuzaz and finish so calmly. And I just think it's a player that I'll have no allegiance to Arsenal whatsoever, but I enjoyed watching it as a footballer and as a fan.
And do you remember trying to recreate those goals, or trying to do them in training, trying to do them in the playground?
I think that's
trying.
Trying. But that was what we watch football. And I'm sure the kids at home watch football for. My lad does as well. He'll watch something that some of these lads are going to do today, then you go and try it. And I remember Bergkamp's got the best collection of goals. If any kids are out there want to watch, YouTube Dennis Bergkamp and see the top 10 goals, it's just unbelievable.
Your second entry?
And second entry only for different reasons, because I saw firsthand just how good he was, and I saw him on the training ground, and the year that I played with him, he won the PFA Player of the Year. So it's for different reasons. It's a difficult one because growing up, Letitia would have been another pick of mine. I would have loved to have got him in here, but because I saw firsthand Steven Gerrard, I have to pick him. I just saw what he was about on the training pitch. I just thought, of all the players I've played with Alonso, Modric, Bale, Torres, in their prime. But for me, he was the best of the lot. Just had everything. Joe knows as well as I do in England training. I think he'd say the same. He had a range of passing. He could be left back, right back, and be the best player on the pitch. And there was times where that Liverpool side was carried by him. And for me, a Premier League legend.